Disco X on the line, just as I suspected. No one really gets over me. I'm unaffected. Why would you try to ever put me second? You're just another groupie to me. No, I'm out here single, and I need some real. Now I got standards, if I fuck, I fail. I'm out here single, tell me what's the deal. Now I got standards, if I fuck, I fail.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to the Betting News Network. This is your afternoon Betspresso. Excited to have you with us across all the platforms. You're watching us on YouTube, on Twitch, RNX. Thanks for stopping by. Finish off your Monday. Happy December the 1st. Vibes are high. We got DB in the house. We got Danny Burke. We got V Souse. My name's Sweatpants Jesus. Chat, how we living, boys? Happy Monday. We were just gabbing a little bit backstage, but how we doing?
Doing fantastic, dude. You look fantastic in a beanie. Can I just say that before we do anything else? You look fantastic in a beanie.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's nice to have the hair sticking out the bottom. And it was nice to put a beanie on. I actually wasn't going to wear a hat at all. But then I was like, nah, I got to get the beanie on. For the
it's that season, man. It's hoodie season. It's beanie season. Like, look at the three of us, right? You know what I mean?
I know. There's feet of snow in Danny's house. He's not getting out of his house, being a lazy ass. It's okay.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm using the snow as an excuse to just be very counterproductive and watch the final season of Stranger Things and handicap today's football and basketball action. So can't complain about the Monday. You know, taking out the dog, it's a little bit of a nuisance, but we get her jacket on. I throw mine on. She doesn't like it any more than I do, so she quick does her business. And we're very efficient out there with the bad weather, so it works out okay.
That's the one thing I've heard about these Chicago dogs is they don't like it out there any more than anybody else does. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, like if you got like a husky or, you know, a very big furred kind of dog like Mona, she's the little pitty mix lab, boxer. So she's got she doesn't have like fur. It's just very, short hair. So she loves the warm weather. She'll bake in the sun for 15 minutes on a routine every morning. If it's snow or rain, I'll do my business and get me the hell out of here. And I'm like, hey, that works for me. So.
Yeah, she's definitely, I mean, if you guys don't know, is she right beside you on the bed right now?
Yeah, she's chewing her bone right now. I think you should be. Oh, you get her, you get her behind a little bit, but there you go.
There she is. Oh,
He's
hi,
like,
girlfriend. Hey, what's going on with you? What a cutie. I think we need to see a picture of Mona with her jacket at some point. So that needs to grace the timeline possibly, Danny. We can make that happen, I think.
Oh, yeah, I'll make that happen for sure.
The amount of situations I've seen Shaggy's dogs in. I mean, my favorite ones are when they're in the life vests on the boat in the summer. Seeing those tiny little wiener dogs with the vests on the boat is electric stuff. But we need to see Mona in her jacket. We need to see her showing off the modeling the fair. You know,
definitely will do.
Okay, good stuff. Chad, thanks for kicking it with us. Welcome to Betspresso to finish off your Monday, first day of December. Can you guys believe it's December, man? Holy, Jesus, man. We'll get there. MMA finesse. We got thoughts on Theo Johnson, though. We will get there. I bet you V's house. I got some thoughts. V's got thoughts. We got thoughts. We're going to get there in a minute. So stick around for the next hour. We're going to talk about Monday Night Football. Talk about the really tasty, big NBA slate tonight. We all got bets across the hardwood. But before we do that, and then we'll cook a parlay at the end of the show. I'm going to tap this off before we jump into the good, the bad, and the ugly, our new favorite game. Giving you guys the reactions from yesterday from NFL Week 13. So, chat, get your goods and bads and uglies ready to go on who you thought was good, bad, and ugly yesterday for NFL Sunday. I just want to tell you guys, chat, we did the season of giving for the month of November for Thanksgiving, and we raised almost $100 to be donated to Feeding America for our parlays that hit across the month. 30% of the proceeds of our parlays that hit across the month across the shows. We hit 3. Pretty good for a 3.5 week stretch, and we're donating about $100 to Feeding America. So that will get posted on the timeline tomorrow. So well done, all of you guys, for helping us across the shows, donating, giving back. We're going to do the Season of Giving Part 2 starting next week, giving you guys like we did last year, where we'll be raising money for Toys for Tots. So any parlay that we hit in the month of December, proceeds of those parlays will go into a pot, and then we'll get donated to Toys for Tots at the end of the month, right before Christmas. So a little bit of giving back for the degeneracy that we do every single day. If you're going to donate to the sportsbook, if you're going to donate to Red Cross, you might as well donate to the kiddos and all the people out there that are less fortunate than we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Scott's thoughts. Absolutely, Joe. Well, guys, let's just get straight to it. We're going to play the good, the bad, the ugly. It's your first time being here for good and bad and the ugly. How it works is you let us know who was good yesterday in the NFL, who was bad, and who was just downright ugly. So you guys can kind of have fun with it if you want. You can pick a player. You can pick a team. Sauceman, I'll let you lead us off. Who was your good yesterday?
My good. I hate to give him credit. Not yesterday, but coming in from Friday. Danny, I think you know where I'm going with this. The Chicago Bears, man, they beat a good team. They beat not only a team with a winning record, but the defending Super Bowl champs.
The Bears.
And I hate that you put the Bears. That makes it worse for some reason. I don't know why. But Caleb's been good. He hasn't been the best, and I will definitely continue to shit on him for the things he hasn't done well, a.k.a. completion percentage, a.k.a. making the right throws and the right reads. He missed Rome on a couple easy ones last week as well. But again, Ben Johnson has this entire locker room believing in everything that they're doing. Everything that is going on in Chicago is going right, which I don't think that fans are used to. I'm myself as a hater, I'm not used to seeing Ben Johnson on the timeline and feeling good about it. I hated that so much. I felt so icky. But the Bears are good. The Bears are good. And they're getting healthy on the defensive side. Maybe, Danny, you want to add to that a little bit?
First, I was going to say clip that. Let's save that. We're going to need that saved.
A minute talked of Vsauce talking nice about your team. Yeah, for sure.
It also is hilarious because I had the Bears under my good, and I literally have it typed out, "Da Bears," the same way. So I'm glad that SPJ wrote that in there. Yeah, I mean, we might as well piggyback off of this. Look, the criticisms of Caleb, you're absolutely right. The thing is, he's making the right plays when it matters most. Is that sustainable? For the time being, it has been. Will it be if they consistently play better teams and then the postseason? Probably not. And Ben Johnson's the first to address that low completion percentage in the missed throws. It certainly was a tougher day to throw the ball, but you don't really want to lean on those excuses when he misses a throw to Rome in the end zone. Now, as bad of a throw as that was, Rome was completely committed to staying in the end zone. He could have helped out a little bit running toward it. And I'm not trying to defend Caleb completely on that. It was a bad throw, don't get me wrong, but he could have gotten a little help. There were certainly some missed ones. Zacchaeus in the end zone, the one where he's falling away. It's Jekyll and Hyde with him. He goes from making outstanding throws like the touchdown to Cole Kmet to then missing the wide open ones and the interception that he had. Like a lot of those short dump offs. Like I tweeted about this after. He struggles with those to lob it over because it's like when he throws, it has to be 110% every time. He struggles taking, his foot off the pedal, and he finally did a little bit toward the end, but that is certainly an issue for him. The good, obviously, the running game. I thought it was going to stink. My goodness, they had like their best running performance and who knows how long. They were setting record numbers. But Monungai, 22 carries, $130. Swift in the revenge game, 125 yards. They both scored a touchdown. And you talk about that defense, like you wanted me to mention here, V. And outside of A.J. Brown, who we did talk about with his receptions, thinking he would have a good game, he had 10 of them. You limited Saquon Barkley. And we, again, projected this to occur not only for the whole season, but potentially in this game because of the regression from 2000 plus and because of the improvements that we've seen from Chicago's defense. Just 56 yards on 13 carries, 4.3 yards a clip, which wasn't bad. But he didn't have any explosive runs that came up when it mattered most. And then the biggest thing is just the turnovers keep piling on. When they create turnovers, they win games. They solve the touch push like Dennis Allen alluded to doing in the beginning of the week. And then you had another outstanding interception from the league's leading turnover squad. So I don't know. It's remarkable how they keep doing this. I didn't think they're going to be able to create any turnovers, V. But they blew my mind. They impressed me. Not only that they were just fighting, but they were just pummeling them. And then they held on when shit was about to hit the fan. Like they could have done the most Bears thing. And I was talking to you guys about it, but then they still overcame it. Like it's tough to process as someone who's dealt with such a crap team for so long.
Yeah. And before we move on, I just need Chad to know that I asked Danny what the number was or what Caleb needs to do for everyone in Chicago to start painting the nails. And a number was set. It wasn't a number of wins. One playoff win. One playoff win.
Yeah.
And the nails are getting painted. Now, I think that, honestly, on behalf of fans of all football teams everywhere, that the men in Chicago are already late. That the nails should have been painted after they were number one in the NFC yesterday. But it's okay. We'll give them till one playoff win. We'll see you guys in the postseason. I just hope I don't have to root for the Bears against the Packers in the first round.
Oh, gee. Well, CV, this is a scary thing. It's like we are at the highest of highs right as we are entering our craziest game of the year. I mean, obviously going against Philly was crazy, but nothing beats a Bears-Packers game, especially from my perspective when it's at Lambeau Field. Last time they were there, it was the Cairo Santos game-winning kick. So this is going to be an insane game, man. I cannot wait.
It's going to be fun to watch you guys go head-to-head this weekend. Also, Little Birdie told me that Danny would be taking the tarp off if the Bears win in Lambeau.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever confirmed that, but I certainly didn't deny
if Danny takes his tarp off.
We'll get 100 subs if that happens. Just saying.
Yeah, if we get 100 subs, then I'll do it.
Oh, see, there it is.
But the Bears also have to
win.
So.
Yeah, and a Bears win.
No, that's too much. That's asking too much. That's where we draw the line.
I think we're gonna lose subs if I take my shirt off. That's the issue.
That's exactly what happened when I grittied.
Well, time to take out a loan. There we go. All right, Danny, was yours the Bears? I'm assuming
it was the Bears. So yeah, I kind of ranted enough about that. So I'll take them as well. So you're up, SPJ.
Okay. Mine, Joey Burr and the Bengals getting a big dub against the Ravens, going back as well to Thanksgiving. So, but the Bengals got dismantled the Ravens in Joey Burr's return. And I told you guys this. I think this team possibly has an opportunity to take advantage of this really bad division. Mm-hmm. I think that Tony Dungy said this last night on Sunday Night Football, like after the game, that a team that with 8 wins could win this division with how it's laying out right now. The Ravens and the Steelers are both 6-6. The Bengals are 4-8, 2 games back. Very winnable schedule down the stretch. They got 2 tough games back to back now, but the Steelers and Ravens are about to play each other, so that's an L automatically for one of those teams, unless they tie, which is fine too, I guess. I don't know, man. Vibes are high. This defense is getting better. I said this earlier. Yeah, they're still bad, but they're better than they were, which is not a great big step, but at least it's a step in the right direction. Burrow looked good. The Ravens are falling apart. The Steelers are terrible. I don't know, man. Maybe things get frisky in Cincinnati, but obviously they took a step in the right direction to get a huge win against Baltimore on Thursday night. I mean, this is avoiding like some of the obvious goods from Sunday, but like I just felt like I want to keep talking about this Bengals team. I might just be an honorary Bengals fan down the stretch to sweat out my 11-1 ticket for them to win the AFC North. So, yeah, Joey Burr, welcome back. All right, I'll go first on the bad, and then we'll kind of round robin this, or we'll snake this bad boy. Kind of sticking with that division, dude. The Steelers, lads. I don't know if you guys watched that game yesterday in that second window against the Bills front to back, but I kind of had that one on full screen while the red zone was on the other. This team is in absolute shambles right now. They got no pressure on Josh Allen playing two backup tackles. Aaron Rodgers looks hurt and obviously was very as Aaron Rodgers can be, was very disappointed in these receivers and the way that they were understanding protections. They've lost 5 of their last 7 games, and they are just in free fall mode right now in this division. This kind of leans in a little bit to the fact that I want them to kind of fall apart because of the Bengals, but you can't deny they were terrible yesterday. So I think they were really bad. They missed an opportunity to kind of stick around at the top of this division. They've really pissed it away, and I don't know if it's going to get any better, especially with their schedule down the stretch. So I'm worried about this team. Maybe we finally see Mike Tomlin's era in Pittsburgh finally finish. I love Mike Tomlin. I would love for him to come. And if he leaves Pittsburgh, which, these things happen, marriages end, and these, coaches go and coach somewhere else, and is fantastic. I'm sure there would be 10 teams that would be lining up to want to get Mike Tomlin in a room and head coach that football team. The Tennessee Titans would be a great suggestion, just saying. But I just think that maybe it's getting to the point where the time might be up. He's the longest tenured head coach in the NFL. Maybe it's time to move on. So we'll see. But they were bad yesterday.
I kind of agree with that, SPJ. Not to pile on too much of the Steelers here, but I know that you can blame Rodgers for blaming his receivers. You can say that he doesn't want to take any of the blame. But I went back and I saw someone that analyzed the tape, and you can see that he's making checks at the line, and that guys like John Smith are missing the play. A guy like DK and Metcalf on the I think it was their first red zone trip where they had to end up settling for 3. That was something where they weren't communicating, or they weren't on the same page. And that's something that I think, you can blame the receivers or you could blame Aaron Rodgers, but it's also a coaching issue, right? Like you said, they got no pressure despite the no Spencer Brown and no Deion Dawkins, both almost all pro tackles. What are we doing here now, right? You can't protect Aaron Rodgers. You can't get pressure on the opposing quarterback. And you are paying almost like, it feels like $1 billion to your secondary for them to be the worst secondary in the NFL. What are we doing?
They also got gashed on the ground yesterday.
Yeah.
They gave up the most rushing yards at their home stadium in the history of the franchise yesterday.
Yeah.
James Cook went crazy, which I had Josh Allen's passing yards, and I was sad, but I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter because they're just getting dominated in the other part of this game. So
sometimes coaches need a new place or like a new system. Like Andy Reid went to the Chiefs after getting fired from the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cook had 144 rushing yards, 32 carries, 249 total rushing yards. I almost used the Bills as my good, but I couldn't pass up the Bears, obviously. But this was a huge win for Buffalo, as bad of a loss as it was for Pittsburgh. I don't think it's that surprising, just because Pittsburgh has shown us time and time again how bad they've been, but especially on the defensive side. And we've seen Rodgers be a below average quarterback, metrically speaking, and just with passing attempts this year. So, yeah, I mean, they're stuck in no man's land. And let's be honest, the past several years with Aaron Rodgers on his teams, that's what you're going to get with a guy who's coming off of an Achilles tear, over 40 years old. Like, what are you expecting? The way the Pittsburgh Steelers constructed this roster, and I always use this example when it's teams similar to this, they did it just to sell tickets, right? They got name brand guys who can have good plays, be flashy. Everybody recognizes them, and they're going to be very middle of the pack. That was like when the Bulls back in the day, they got Rajon Rondo and Dwayne Wade. And then they honestly might have beaten the Celtics in that first round had Rondo not exited. But the whole funny part about that is Dwayne Wade, he finally comes back home to Chicago, but he was way past his prime. And then you had Jimmy Butler, Rajon, like it was clearly just to put butts in the seat. And it was like, this is a waste of a year, and ended up being kind of exciting. But the point is, like, that's exactly what it felt like with the guys they got in their secondary.
Yeah. Just to say, our friend JJ does come on our show every once in a while. Not today. He will be with us on Sunday, though. But he did want us to have some shows pop up on his timeline. So thanks for being here. We go live every day. JJ does stop by and hang out with us. Not going to have him on today, but thanks for tuning in. Stick around. We're going to talk a lot of sports. So hope you enjoy the show. DB, who's your bad?
You know who my bad is. Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, yay.
They screwed me on 2 bets, man. I don't want to be the guy complaining about closing line value, but I think I had one of the better bets of the year on Cam Ward over his rushing yards, 8.5. It closed at like 15.5 or something like that in some books. And even with his passing yards, I got some CLV on there. Didn't matter. And look, that happens all the time when we bet props early, so it's really not that big of a deal. But It was just infuriating how a guy who the last 2 games rushed for 30+ yards and vocally expressed how he's going to utilize that aspect of his game, and you were trailing, had no offense anywhere else, just refused to use his feet. Like, what the hell are we doing? And then passing wise, he did complete over like 63% of his throws, but at only 3.7 yards a catch. I mean, my goodness, it looked like a D1 team, just like the really good D1 team. If you think what would happen if you put them up against an NFL team, and that would be the result, just throws of less than 5 yards, very short completions, get nothing whatsoever. I mean, that was just a pitiful performance. And I know they've been bad, and I know that you've dealt with these frustrations, but SPJ, I went out of my way to watch this game because I had 2 bets there and I felt so good about them. So I got the full hate yourself experience from watching your Tennessee Titans that you endure every single week. And man, I just went to bed grateful to be a Bears fan this year. Asterisks, we'll see what happens this weekend. Yeah. But I'm glad that like I'm out of that territory with my team, because holy crap, that stunk, especially in a game we thought they'd do well. Division opponent, bad secondary. Take over from here.
No, it was I felt really bad on the fact that we talked about it all week. I like that you like them too. I think V kind of don't know how he felt about it. He was at least kind of letting me talk about them a little bit. And I've tried to not talk about them a lot this season because they've just been putrid for a large portion. To be fair for Cam Ward, this team just is terrible. Like the offensive coordinator's awful. The way that they scheme out plays, it was really good for a couple of weeks. It seemed like they were making some strides, especially against some bad defenses. And then you have and this, to be honest with you, Danny, of all the games I watched over the last like 2 or 3 years as a Tennessee Titans fan, this was one of the worst ones.
Of course.
They were awful. And I mean, the Jags were fine. Like they were okay, but like they were just, it was so bad of a watch, man. It was awful. Thank God Shig got his yards because that was my bet in this game. But yeah, it's a terrible franchise. I also, just to put a cherry on top of this, and we'll let V talk, I had to watch Marcus Mariota, former Titans player, throw to maybe a guy who we brought in because of the A.J. Brown trade and drafted Treylon Burks, who didn't do jack shit for the Tennessee Titans for 3 seasons, make one of the catches of the year on Sunday Night Football, which was awesome to watch. They also have Jeremy McNichols on that team, who's a productive player for the Commanders last night, who was also a Tennessee Titans player. You have all these Tennessee Titans across the NFL. You got Kevin Byard. You know Kevin Byard well. He's leading the NFL in interceptions right now. The former mayor of Murfreesboro. Yeah. It's a terrible time to be a Titans fan. I'm sorry that I subjected you. Although you subjected yourself, to be fair. I did not peer pressure you whatsoever. No. But yeah, they were terrible yesterday. Just awful. So, yeah.
Just because you said his name. Marcus Mariota fucking balled yesterday, man. So like in overtime, penalty. Fuck it, doesn't matter. Penalty doesn't matter. We're 3 yards from the touchdown. First down, nope. Second down, nope. Third down, nope. Fourth down. My God, man. My God. So sad.
I texted it last night that regardless of how you feel about Marcus Mariota, which is what
V mispronounced his name. It's Mariota.
Mariota.
I saw that.
Mariota.
You guys see
Leviota.
It's Brad Pitt from Inglourious Bastards, and it's like how Chris Collinsworth is pronouncing.
Gorlami.
Yeah, he's just always been a gamer. Left it all out on the field, regardless, even in his later days.
So sad. He looked so sad after the game. Right. And I just want to know, what did Alex look like sweating that game out last night? Because he's, how about them donkeys? But how did you really feel sweating out Marcus Mariota?
We had 3 of the best catches of the year. I mean, that Puka one was arguably, I think it was better than Treylon Burks. Don't get me wrong, Burks is great. But Puka had to snag it this way, tipped off the arm, and still brought it back. And then Brock Bowers
was insane too.
I mean, geez.
Bowers was nicer to me because it cashed my yards bet too. Like, which is really fucking nice.
That's also great. All right, what's your bad sauce, man?
Man, there's a bunch to pick from this week. I even initially had the Ravens until you kind of talked about them with the Bengals. But honestly, the Falcons. The Falcons are a team that came into this year with a ton of hope. Their defense got so much better than they did last year. All of a sudden, they were getting pressure to the QB. They were able to stop the run. Secondary was like good. So much hope, and I get it. Injuries suck. Drake London spent some time out of games, and then with this Michael Penix injury. But at no point were they ever even really in the hunt for the postseason. That 30-0 loss to the Panthers earlier this year. I know the Panthers are a good team, but to get blanked is kind of crazy. And then you're looking at the sidelines. Maybe it's Raheem Morris, maybe it's whatever. And then I'm just seeing so many Falcons fans on the timeline that are bringing things to my attention that makes this so much uglier. Like the coaches that were looked at and talked to when they made the Raheem Morris hiring. I think Vrabel was one of the guys that was talked about. I just don't know. The guys that went before Penix in the draft, there's just so many different things. The guys that went before Pitts in the draft. This entire team, the organization for the last 4 to 5 years has just been ugly. And this year, despite not being terrible, they've just been terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Hard to disagree. For the sake of time, do you have an ugly for us as well?
Yeah. The Broncos were ugly yesterday, and the Broncos have won ugly every fucking game. That's it. They're good. They're good. But like I said last week, I can't remember who it was. You can be good, but be ugly. They win ugly. And yesterday, a missed 2-point conversion is what wins you the game. Come on.
They've won a lot of games like that this year.
They fall into wins.
Bunch.
They got the benefit of some fortunate penalties as well, I will say.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, Danny, I'll jump the line because that's my ugly.
Go ahead.
That's my ugly. The referees, the zebras in the NFL right now are just downright atrocious and terrible. Terrible. I don't even know if that's how you spell referees. I'm so mad right now. The refereeing across the entire NFL. This is a humongous problem that needs to get fixed. First of all, the NFL just needs to nut up, and they need to hire referees that are in-house referees so they don't have to have other jobs. These guys have other jobs, guys. They don't even get to do this as their full-time gig. They have other things that they're doing on a weekly basis. The second part of this is we've talked about this. We watched so many plays yesterday. I watched a lot of the Titans games, but across the entire NFL, there were some egregious fouls that were called, flags. And a lot of these plays are, quote unquote, not reviewable, or they're in the last 2 minutes, or whatever it may be, whatever rule you want to throw out there for these plays that are non-reviewable. We have gotten to the point now in the NFL where they have the technology that they are expediting reviews. They are having New York call the referees and change the call. They had a guy yesterday throw a flag, and before he even finished making the call, they changed it in his ear and said, no, actually, that's not a foul. And they changed it and said, okay, actually, there's no foul. If you can do that, every play, even the plays in the big time situations, if you can have a situation where you can look at a play like the Marcus Mariota play yesterday, where he got sacked in the backfield, where it looked like he got sacked. But what actually happened was his knee went down. He ran for 15 yards, but then they said his knee went down. But if you watch the replay, he got whip tackled. He got tripped. Mm-hmm. He got tripped by like the leg of the defensive lineman. If it takes you 5 seconds, and this is as consumers of the NFL and watchers of the game, we can see that because they're showing it. We would have no problem, regardless of if that's reviewable or not by the rules, for you to go out and say, well, this is what we saw, that the guy was down. However, there was a foul on the play, which would then be a 15-yard penalty, and then we'd move on. I don't think there would be a single NFL fan that would complain about that in that situation, because that is just how it should be. They need to change these rules. They need to adjust how replay assist is used. They need to adjust those situations to where, I don't want to say everything is reviewable from a coaching perspective, but if they're going to look at every single play and we can see the highlights, it's got to change. There's too much money on the line. These are billion-dollar corporations. It's done. They need to Pandora's box has been opened. Just get to the point where everything can be looked at by virtual referees and then fix the things that need to be fixed.
Yeah, it's never going to be a perfect operation. That much needs to be accepted, but it's an absolute embarrassment from the standpoint of that specific play, to where Mariota makes an incredible effort after getting tripped, but he still stays alive and he picks up all those yards. And it's like, no, on second thought, yeah, you were sacked. Oh, but there's also blatant tripping, so we're also going to throw that, just completely ignored. Like, it just makes no sense. Like, if it's something where you're skipping over one area to look at another, I mean, it needs to be included. And if it's that obvious, that's what the replay is for. It was just complete shot yourself in the foot type of moment for the NFL reviewing system and officiating with that play specifically. And it happens all the time. And they just flat out embarrass themselves with it.
It's just baffling to me. We can move on and you can go with your ugly, but it's just baffling to me that we have to watch the play as football fans that know, and there's no way that they don't know. And I hate it's not reviewable, so we can't change the call. Mm. That is absolute bullshit to me at this point. Like, that has to be thrown out of the verbiage of the NFL's rules at this point, because you can't have Terry McAulay on the call last night for Sunday Night Football when they threw the ball down the field and they called intentional grounding, and they go, well, McAulay, what do you think? He's like, well, that's just not intentional grounding. They shouldn't call that. It's like, how are we doing this? Like, what is going on? This is costing people games. Anyway, I could talk about this for an hour. But all right, Zebras. Danny, take us home. What's your ugly?
Yeah, this was a really tough choice, but there happened to be a quarterback out there on Sunday who threw 4 interceptions and no touchdown passes and happens to be in the NFC. No, oh, that's right. Max Brosmer, however you say his last name. 19 of 30, not bad, but only under 26 yards, no touchdowns, 4 interceptions. It can't be worse than J.J. McCarthy. Oh, wait, Max Brosmer says, hold my beer. I will be that much worse. Now, cut the guy some slack. It was against one of the best defenses, and you should not be playing in an NFL game, really. I mean, at this point, you had Carson Wentz go out. J.J. stinks. Seems like he should come back. But, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, it's nothing against the guy. It was just ugly, and that interception was probably one of the worst you'll ever see. I literally exploded out loud with like shock and laughter, and not at him, just in pure amazement. And again, for anybody who doesn't know, I had the Seahawks and Chargers in my Survivor League. I had to pick two, so I was sweating both of those in the beginning stages. So seeing him make that throw was just insane. I mean, come on, man. That was ridiculous.
Dude, I was going to say he threw one touchdown. Just not to his own team.
Just to the wrong team.
He actually had good reads. His throws were just all over the place. Like, I'll give him a little bit of credit.
Yeah,
it seems,
dude. There was a
like
meme
McCarthy's going to be back.
It was the Vikings QB room, and then it was just a bunch of clowns sitting in a classroom.
I literally had flashbacks to Will Levis in Week 1 against your Bears last year.
Yeah.
In that throw.
I think the Brosmer one was worse, though. I mean,
it was.
I mean, the way he threw it, like your game situation against the Bears was worse, but the throw itself was worse yesterday.
Yeah, because he wasn't even trying. Like, there was no throw there. Like at least Levis, because Jordan Love did this too. Last year actually at the Rams, about 6 yards from his own end zone. Actually, not on the other side. So I don't know which one's worse. But at least those two were trying to throw to somebody. Brosmer was about to face plant.
They had Ricky trying to play.
That's pretty much what it was. Yeah.
I mean, he's an undrafted rookie. Like, so what did we really expect? He's had some stuff on tape that was fine, but like, and it's one of the best defenses in the NFL. So it was always up against him. We don't have time to go into this deeply. We've talked about this kind of in passing a couple of times. I think this might be curtains, man, for Jay Jettas up in Minnesota, man.
We clown guys who are like these diva receivers. Justin Jefferson is the least diva receiver. He should be the most diva receiver, and I don't think anybody would blame him whatsoever. I mean, you cannot waste 100%. Your talent and career up in Minnesota right now if they have no plan at quarterback.
No.
5,000%. 5,000%. Would not be shocked whatsoever if he ends up moving on if they don't have a specific, very firm plan at the
Adam Thielen just said, "Get me the hell out of here. This is my last year." He's like, "I'm out."
Because there's 3 playoff teams in the North, man.
Yeah.
It's not going to get much better. All right. Interesting. I know people don't care for him, but interesting to see Shador as KOC as his coach.
JJ's first touchdown was thrown to the Bears. That's hilarious. That's crazy.
Yeah, did you guys see this stuff about Juwan getting called a hoe by the offensive lineman after he got punched in the nuts? What a week, huh?
What a
week, man. We could probably go on and on and on and on, but let's cap off this week and let's talk about Monday night. That was a fun, good, bad, and the ugly. Oh man, Chad, I just want you guys to know that we all look forward to this now every single week of coming on and talking our good, bad, and uglies. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we do at this point. To the point now where producer Sook is going to be making a intro for us now that we will be able to use for good, bad, and ugly.
I prepare more for this than I do the Monday night game, so I don't know what you guys are doing.
Plays? We're talking bets, huh? No. Yeah. Well, there is a game tonight, the last game of week 13. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the game that's going down in Foxborough here in a couple of hours. Oh, that's the wrong graphic. My bad. Patriots taking on the Giants. 7-point favorites are the New England Patriots. Drake Man Company looking to stay atop the AFC conference. Crazy to say at this particular point. Mike Vrabel and co. looking to take down Jackson Dart, who is back, and the Giants. 7-point favorites, as I said, are the Patriots. Giants, 7-point dogs. Over-under set at 46.5. I mean, we talked about all the different trends and stuff earlier today on any given wager. The line is actually bumped up to 7.5 in most places. You are getting that extra hook if you like that, which will definitely come into play here. Sauceman, I know you wrote about this game. Danny and I talked about it a little earlier, so I'll let you lead us off here. What are we kind of thinking just from an overall perspective? Do you lean with the Giants kind of sticking around with Dart coming back from the injury, or do you think the Pats are just going to continue to absolutely roll?
Man, so with the spread, I've been kind of going back and forth, and I was hoping that this hour with you guys would kind of, get me to one side, but just a little bit about this game. 46.5 point total on prime time, right? I know that the trend was broken last night. That was nice to see. Unfortunately, SBJ for your ticket, but RJ Harvey burned us both, right? Or did he get you there?
No, he burned me too.
Yeah.
I mean, Danny knows this after drafting Broncos running backs.
Yeah, Sean Payton, eat it, man. But anyways, We're going back to this game. This game looks like it could be fun. 46.5 point total, and two teams that don't play each other maybe every single year, but do have a bit of a rivalry just because of these storied Super Bowl meetings. This is the latest iteration of this rivalry, and I think, honestly, they've got the QBs of the future. I think this is going to be a fun rivalry for the next few years to watch. Whether they meet in the Super Bowl or not, I think Jackson Dart is going to be the guy for the New York Giants. I was honestly a little bit surprised to see him coming back this year with only 10 record. I don't know if I would do it or not, but I guess you do want to get some reps with him. With Drake May, they're the only team with 10 wins. He can solidify his MVP case today against a really bad defense, but a defense that just fired their defensive coordinator. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but guys like Dexy and everybody else were all smiles after he got canned. And I think a lot of it, we've seen it during the year. They're calling out plays after the game. They're questioning their coach. You can hear them yelling in the tunnels. A lot of their defense, despite the big names, like, you cannot be 32nd in the NFL in rush yards allowed when you have Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter, and Brian Burns up on the fucking front line. It doesn't make any sense. They're not getting pressure to the QB. So what are they doing? I'm excited to see what changes today, if anything. But I think this is going to be a fun game where we see some points and two big men on both sides I'm liking. But I'll get into that in a sec. What are you guys liking?
Can I just add one remark? Maybe you meant this, maybe you didn't fully. You said Drake May can solidify his MVP with like a good performance. Are you out on Stafford because of what happened yesterday? He's still a favorite.
No. I think he is still very much in contention. I've talked about this in the timeline. There's every single week we see a QB's like case get flamed. Now there's still a lot of football left to be played, but the latest victim was Stafford, right? Like Jordan Love played great for like 2 games and they lost to the Browns. Then we saw Josh Allen go 4-0 and then lose 4 of his next 5 games.
Mahomes, same thing.
I don't know if it's going to be the same thing with Stafford, but if anything, 2 interception game, a 7-point loss to the Carolina Panthers, and the fact that they would be the only team with double-digit wins, I think helps his case and helps solidify it if there is one. I know the schedule has been tough, but they've also got some big wins too. I know not as many, but they do have some big wins.
Yeah,
I just want to give Garrett his
fumble too.
Yeah,
I just want to give Garrett his flowers because he's been talking about this in the chat and he deserves it as a Panthers fan. So congrats on your team, Garrett. Well done, sir. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it earlier on Any Given Wager. Danny and I both kind of lean with the dog here to keep this game close. I don't know if you have any further thoughts on that, Danny. I'm really liking the 7.5. The more and more I've been looking at it throughout the day. I've got enough props in this game, so I probably won't end up taking it. Maybe be kicking myself later when the Pats win by a field goal. But did you convince yourself any further on the Giants here?
Yeah, not necessarily. If V had a lot of conviction, I may have gotten there more. I know that's how I was kind of thinking about it going into the show earlier with you and Adam. And yeah, still same position, lean strongly toward taking the points with the Giants. And V earlier, pretty much the main reasons why is because I don't think this defense is as good as they appear. They've been benefiting from the league's easiest schedule, but you look at those success rate numbers, they're 21st overall, 21st against the pass, and 20th against the run. Now, EPA, they're fine, but that's because, again, it's weaker competition, but those weaker offenses are still able to move the ball relative to the down marker. So I think you're going to see that come to fruition with the Giants and their offense that's been able to hang in a lot of games this year. And that's how I handicap this Giants team under their win total, but they'll cover more often than they won't. And I think that's going to be the case tonight. Factor in that you're missing 2 starting linemen for the Patriots. The Giants maybe get a boost defensively because they fired their DC, Shane Bowen, and now you got Charlie Bullen, the outside linebackers coach, stepping up. And the Patriots have the worst red zone defense in the NFL. Now, the Giants are only 1 slot ahead, but still, people are talking about that a lot with New England and their defensive flaws. And I think that could be on display to a certain degree tonight, to the sense of the Giants being able to keep it within the number. I lean toward the under, but not under 47. If it was over, then I'd probably play it. Colder game, but nothing else too crazy with the weather conditions outside of that.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. It's a cold game tonight at Foxborough, but it's not going to be like a lot of wind, maybe a little bit of snow, but even that, I don't think too much. And everything you said, Danny, I think that this red zone defense is what has been holding the Patriots back. And I think the fact that a lot of their running offensive stats, yes, they have been good. But if you also look at last week, they gave up the biggest game they've given up, and that was to Chase Brown, right? They're also a team that I think hasn't really, like you said, faced the best schedule. So teams haven't been really running on them because teams aren't playing with the lead. This isn't a situation where teams, like even in their close games, they're still putting up points. We saw the Falcons game, right? We saw what they did to the Carolina Panthers. None of these teams have been in a position to really run the ball or run it heavily against the Patriots either. I do think that this is a spot where Jackson Dart can kind of take advantage of that. He's been very mobile and just kind of getting in and out of the pocket. I think that this is also a defensive line we've seen struggle with mobile QBs. But I'm looking at one of the pass catchers. SPJ, you want to start it off with him? Talk about him a little bit on the Giants side? I think we're both on him.
Yeah, sure. We can talk about Theo Johnson first. I'm on Theo Johnson, his 29.5 receiving yards. He's one of Dart's most trusty targets, second most in targets on this team. He's hit this in 3 straight games, and when he has hit this, he has soared over as well into the 70s in the last 2 of the last 3 games as well. Now, a couple of those were with Jameis Winston, so you got to factor that in as well. But the Patriots are actually 25th in the NFL to receiving yards allowed to the tight end position. So even though their defense, and as Danny said, the competition level from this defense that they've had to deal with is pretty laughable if you look at the offenses they faced. So you can't really put that too much into stock here. But I think that Johnson's going to be able to get open. I think that he's going to be able to. He's a nice yak tight end as well, even though he's a little bit of a bigger body. Obviously, I see you have a little bit of a different angle, but I really like Theo in this spot. I think the line was 32.5 when I looked earlier, so it's up a couple yards. I think it's still a nice spot there too. I did ladder it to 40 and some lottos and stuff like that as well. I think he has an opportunity to have a nice night tonight in Foxborough. So you want to talk about maybe how he takes advantage of the worst red zone defense in the NFL, like Danny just mentioned?
That's exactly what I'd love to do. Theo Johnson to get in the end zone at plus 290. This is a guy who had 3 touchdowns against man coverage in the weeks that Jackson Dart was available. This is a guy who is a very big body.
Oh no.
We made it so far.
He is a very big body though. So that works really well.
I'm rooting for this angle. Again, I always give at least one mention to my fantasy team. I got Wandale and Theo in a close, heated battle tonight, so I'll be rooting for Theo.
Oh, wow. Is that why you kind of secretly want the Giants to keep this game relatively close? Is because you have both of those guys?
But here's the thing. I don't even need them to because I'd rather them trail, honestly, to pad the stats a tad bit. So
fair enough. You want to finish your sell job? We heard you last time. He's got a big body. Chat was loving
it. That's a crazy place to stop. But yes, he's got a big body, and right here in the red zone is when that kind of comes in handy. This is a guy who Jackson Dart is looking at often once you get down here, and this is a Patriots defense who really kind of lacks size in the secondary and at the linebacking position. They also haven't done a great job of getting pressure on opposing QBs. They're 20th in sacks this year, and Jackson Dart's actually been fantastic when he's kept clean. He's had a completion rate of 71%, and he's thrown 9 touchdowns to just 1 interception. He's had 10 touchdowns this year, 3 interceptions. He's been good. He's taking care of the ball. And I think 2 of his interceptions have actually come on tipped balls, if I can remember correctly. I don't have the stats to back it up, but I know at least one of them was on a tip pass. He's been really good. Theo Johnson was a big part, and he's actually their number 2 receiver against man coverage. Neighbors was their number 1, but obviously with him out of the lineup, you're looking at a guy who has made it very hard for opposing DBs to cover him because of his size, and he's actually faster than he looks because of how big he is. So he's been giving linebackers a pretty big run for their money. The Pats also haven't really faced a good tight end in the last few weeks. So I really think Theo's going to get in the end zone today. I love the yards look too, SPJ. And then on the other side, I took the other big boy, Hunter Henry, to get in the end zone, a plus 210. 30% target share in the red zone, a 36% first read target share. And like Danny said, they rank just ahead of the Patriots in red zone defense. So give me Hunter Henry to get in the end zone at plus 210.
Yeah, we were looking at Hunter Henry. His receptions was 3.5, and that seemed pretty low. So I'd be shocked if he doesn't get his like he has in seemingly the most recent games they've been playing. I think he's got like 16 targets or something, or somewhere around there the last 2 games. So if it is going to be close, he should be getting a lot of looks. I might as well. Do you want to go ahead, SPJ, add to that?
No, we can talk about Dart now. We both have bets on Dart.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to go into.
Yeah, go ahead. Take your Dart angle, and I'll talk about him after you.
Yeah, for sure. So the play that I've got, one of the 2, Jackson Dart V over 18.5 completions, minus $1.15. I laid it out earlier. This New England defense, a tad bit overrated, 21st in success rate. They're also 21st in dropback success rate. They are also 21st in opponent completion percentage. Quarterbacks completing 66% of their throws. Opponents are getting 22 completions per game. 9 opposing QBs have gone over this mark. And Dart's only gone over it 3 times, but a lot of their offense is circulated with him scrambling or Scadaboo scrambling, and their defense has been so bad they haven't really had enough time of possession to where he's throwing more. But if they're kind of trying to limit his damage potentially, then maybe they try to contain him in the pocket, shorter, safer passes. If you're the Patriots, you're probably fine with that as well. What do you want to just contain is Wan'Dale Robinson beating you deep. So, play some kind of zone scheme there and just let the middle to shorter grounds open. And in general, I just think from the game script standpoint, they're going to be trailing and throwing more, and it's a vulnerable secondary to do it against. So 18.5 seems very low. I think he gets to about 20, 21 in this game. So I really like this prop approach with Dart over 18.5 completions tonight.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I end up, and I want to just shout this out from earlier. We'll answer a couple of those questions in the chat. So those are some good ones, and we'll get there in just a second. Jackson Dart's rushing yards line is now 25.5. It's dropped down since what we had earlier. I got it at 28.5, and I also got his touchdown at plus 320. Now it is well documented at this point that they have come out and kind of said that they don't want him to run too much because they want to protect him from another concussion.
Yeah,
I think that's fine and dandy to say that. But I think that this guy's going to get out there again, and I do think that he's going to scramble some and make some plays with his legs. So you can get a better line than I did. The 25.5 is out there. I'm seeing 27.5 also exists. But, I mean, I got the 28.5, so I'll just sell that to you guys. And I like the touchdown as well. We've seen what Jackson Dart can do. I just don't think you can take that dog out of him completely. So I like him to get the job done with his legs. Just to answer this question from Zell Pressure, I talked about this earlier on Any Given Wager with Pop Douglas. I like this a lot. The 13.5. He's hit this in 8 straight games. If you like this, Zell, I would just ladder it. Take it up to 20, 25, 30. He usually gets it on one big play. So you will be sweating this out for the entire game and hoping he gets one catch. But when he does, he usually gets over the 13.5 line. So definitely a good shout for sure on that one as well. And Danny, do you want to touch on Wan'Dale before we move on?
Hey, always high on Wan'Dale. Hopefully he replicates what happened last week. I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case. It's a little bit, I mean, with Jameis to Dart, yeah, they're going to sling it, but we've seen big games with Wan'Dale and Dart, not as explosive as it was with Winston. So I'm a little bit down on Wan'Dale. I'm rooting for him heavily. But yeah, I think around 5 to 6 catches, there really wasn't too much value with his props tonight. It takes one play for him to get over his receiving yards line, but I don't think there's as much value there because, again, if you're the Patriots, just don't get beat deep by him and you should be fine. Receptions would be a bit more appealing, but not enough of an edge, unfortunately, for anything Wan'Dale this evening. I think there's a better look with Theo Johnson.
Let's go. Sauceman, we've got a couple more props. Did you want to add anything else before we finish this off?
I was just going to say I like the Demario Douglas look just because of the fact that Giants run a ton of man. They're top 5 in man rate this year, and that's exactly when Douglas sees his target rate go up quite a bit, actually. I think he's seeing almost a 19% target rate against man coverage. Now, again, smaller sample size, but the reason he's doing that is because he's just so fast. Like, he's faster than everybody else. And if you look at his game logs, multiple games, 1 catch, 2 catch, but 40 yards, 30 yards, 25 yards. It's what he does. At 13.5, I think it's definitely low enough. And I also think that one thing we kind of forget about sometimes is sometimes in these primetime games, not only are some of the props very heavily bet and have like this huge, handle on them, but if you're looking at guys that are like undervalued, those are also guys that are going to fly under a coach's radar, maybe. You know what I mean? Like a guy that he might not be game planning for, aka a Demario Douglas. So I like it at 13.5.
The other one in that same sort of conversation I brought up earlier is Austin Hooper. We got some Patriots fans in the chat. Hooper's in that secondary tight end. They utilize him similarly. He does get a decent amount of targets, but only 1 to 2 catches. His line's 9.5 for his receiving yards, hitting 3 of his last 4 games. I mean, those are just very tasty, hittable lines. You're not going to see them out in the field a shit ton. They're not going to get volume and catches. Like, it's not a bunch of targets and stuff, but you'll look up, bang, 1 catch, see you later. Have a
couple examples from yesterday. Jalen Coker from chat. They brought that one in at 2.5, which was free. Shit, Darnell Washington at 1.5 was a sweat, but it was free.
Back to back. Oh man, that 1.5. So it gave me when you take a guy to hit 2 threes and he does it on back-to-back possessions and then doesn't.
Like, that's what that is. That's what this 13.5 yard line is. Don't expect 5 targets. I mean, if you expect 5 targets, you should expect a line at 60.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's cap this off talking football and then we'll swing and talk basketball. Danny and I both have bets from the rushing perspective on the Patriots side of things. The Giants have the worst rushing defense in the NFL. Danny's going the chalky route. I'm going a little bit different. You want to lead us off, my man?
Yeah, it is definitely. It's probably going to be like the most bet prop. So I feel a little worse about it as we go on. But look, if he's going to play the way the Patriots should play him, he should be able to get over this, given the Giants give up the most yards per carry at 5.9. That's gone to 7.5 the last 3 games, 11.9 last week against the Lions. Granted, that's because Gibbs exploded, but still they're dead last in rush EPA, rush success rate allowed. 9 opposing tailbacks have gone over this against the Giants. Henderson's averaging 4.7 yards per carry. He's gotten 10 plus each of his last 5 games. I know that the efficiency dipped a little bit the last 2 games against the Jets and the Bengals, 2 bad defenses, but with this colder weather, if they're playing with a lead, Henderson still should be able to get about 75 plus in this game. So this line is also dipped kind of like the dart when you were talking about. Obviously, the offensive lineman missing does not help. But Henderson, again, if they are going to utilize him as an RB1, he should be able to eclipse this mark this evening.
It's like we traded places. We Freaky Friday because I'm usually the guy taking the chalky or star player guy, and you're usually the guy taking the backup or the other guy in the other situation. Because I'm going with the other guy. Give me a Stevenson, Ramondre, over 24.5 rushing yards. Exactly the same sell job as Danny just gave you, except the other running back. This line's actually creeped up a little bit, 26, 27.5, depending on where you're shopping. I just went for the lower line. I think both guys can hit. This is a terrible rushing defense. If the Patriots do get a lead in this game, they are going to just pound the rock. But we've seen Josh McDaniels. I was thinking about Sean Payton because he does the same shit. You just never know which running back's going to go out there. Like they're probably going to pull some random guy off the street tonight to go be RB1 randomly, and both of us are going to be pissed.
Right.
But hopefully neither of those things happen. And it's just these 2 guys running crazy all over the Giants. But yeah, it's a good matchup, hard to ignore. All right, boys. Go to muted if you want to tap us off.
Sorry, my mute button actually got stuck. But question for you guys, just play devil's advocate. Does the fact that they have a new guy calling the defensive plays like not scare you or worry you at all, but give you even like a little bit of pause? The fact that like, yes, they had the best or the worst defense, but they have some big names up front. Like that's why I was sitting here like, how much of an impact does a DC have? Obviously, it's quite a bit, but maybe it's harder to conceptualize because on offense, you can see it with your eyes. With the defense, you just think, hey, they can't play defense.
Yeah, I actually do think they're going to get a slight boost from it. You're not going to overly alter your defensive approach too much, but I think that they are going to have a little bit more inspiration to put out for their guy, given how terrible they've been. And he may still give them relatively different looks. Whether it's more aggressive or, taking the foot off the pedal when it's bringing the pressure, whatever it is, I do think they are going to get a little bit of a kickstart from that at the beginning stages of this game.
Agreed. I talked about this earlier. I didn't end up betting it, but I just want to say it out loud again for chat. Brian Burns to get a sack is minus 109, who I think could be the beneficiary of that defensive line playing a bit more juice. And the Patriots are actually 26th in sacks allowed, but playing with 2 offensive linemen down, Will Campbell being one of them, obviously. So maybe they take advantage. We'll see.
There's a video of
the Spider-Man celebration will be out tonight in Foxborough.
There's a video of Dexy too, where they ask him about the fired DC. What's his name? Bowen.
Shane Bowen. Yeah.
And he's just like, it's this big smile on his face, and then he realizes that he shouldn't be smiling. So I don't know. I could definitely see him on the field today, just hitting the sexy Dexy. You know what I mean?
Oh, I will just say, Shane Bowen. Good.
He's a big guy.
You're a bad coach. Okay.
Love the big boys.
There's your football chatter. Gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a good game tonight. Let's just fingers crossed, boys. Fingers crossed. All right, let's swing. Let's talk hoops, and then we'll cook, and then we'll get out of here. It always goes so fast, this show, because of doing good, the bad, and the ugly. But huge slate of NBA tonight. As V and I were texting last night, the NBA games yesterday were incredible. I mean, everyone's paying attention to football, but I mean, there were so many incredible performances last night. My dog Denny Advia had a triple-double with 19 rebounds against the Thunder.
Jaylen Brown had a triple-double.
Yeah, both of our guys had triple doubles.
Yeah. Denny's is just as impressive, but he does it now regular. You know what I mean? It's like
so weird to say that, but it's so true.
Okay, Peyton Pritchard at 42, and he shot 60%. All jumpers, boys. All jumpers.
This was us watching the NFL and NBA yesterday. feeling nicey. Let's talk about the bets for tonight, though. Nice matchups across the board. Danny, you've got a bunch of unders for us. I'll let you rattle them off, and then I'll talk about a few props that I have out there tonight in the NBA.
Yeah, I'll try to keep these short and sweet. Got 6 plays. First one, James Harden under 42.5 points, rebounds, and assists going against one of the better defensive teams, the Miami Heat tonight. Their second in effective field goal percentage allowed is Miami. They're also third in points per 100 possessions allowed. They struggle a little bit with the rebounding and assists, but Harden, where he's going to kill you, is taking his shots from deep. And if he's connecting on threes, then I'm screwed. But I don't think he's going to, because the Miami Heat, number one 3-point defense in the NBA. So this line should have adjusted. It did not. I like his under 42 in the hook. Same game, same type of play. Zubac under 32.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Now, he's averaging about 31 with those combined numbers per game this year, yet they're putting it at 32.5 in a tougher matchup against Adebayo and Ware, and they defend around mid-range pretty well. Actually, exceptionally well. They're second best in opponent field goal percentage from there. And then they're, I think, 12th around the rim. So I'm sure you'll get a lot of rebounds per usual from Zubac, but I don't think he's going to be as good of scoring tonight. So I like him under. And then Davion Mitchell, I'll give you an over here, over 2.5 rebounds, plus money, plus 125. He's very volatile in this regard, but he is averaging 2.9, so you round it up to 3. This should be a night where he could find his way over. Clippers are 21st in rebound percentage, and considering how formidable Miami's defense is, that should lead to a lot of missed shots, and then him getting more chances to pad his stats in the rebounding department. So I like that because of the price mainly. Another rebounding prop, Ryan Kalkbrenner, under 7.5 rebounds with the Hornets. He's averaging 6.7 per game. And in November, that's dipped slightly to 6.5. He stayed under this mark in 13 out of 18 games. I get it. It's the Brooklyn Nets. They stink. There's going to be a lot of missed shots. They're not good at rebounding. But this number is just still a tad bit too high given what he has done or lack thereof this entire season. So I like his under. Another rebound, Şengün under 9.5 boards. He stayed under this the past 4 games. It's actually been a really low mark. Now, I don't think he stays as low as about 5 to 6 like we've seen as of late, but I do think his numbers should adjust to either the 9.5 should have been more chalky toward the under. I got it minus $1.15, or 8.5 with some plus money toward the under. I still think would have been an appropriate look. The Jazz are 10th in rebounding percentage, and Houston's a massive favorite here, about 12 in the hook the last I saw. So if it's a blowout, it'll get taken out early, not as many minutes being played, and thus limiting his rebounding opportunities. And then finally, Keontae George under 2.5 3-pointers, minus $1.37, a bit more chalky. We know how good Houston's defense is. They're second in points per possession, 7th in effective field goal percentage allowed. 36% of his shot attempts come from beyond the perimeter. He's making only 33% of them. Their 8th in opponent 3-point field goal percentage is Houston, allowing opponents to make just 35%. So I like him to stay under 2.5 triples tonight.
He also had a terrible game against Houston in their last game.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what was he doing? And I've really liked watching George so far to start the season, but goodness gracious. Danny also wrote about all these props at bettingnews.com. You can go check him out if you want to read a little more of the scribs about all the things that he just mentioned. I will tell you, dude, the Harden scares the shit out of me. That one is scary with how good he's been back in Miami too. But yeah, I get it. You've been sharp on him too.
He might have been out last night. It might just help. You know what I mean?
You never know.
Right.
Sunday night. I've heard Sunday night they got specials and shit. I'm sure that there's
exactly Sunday night football's on. I'm just saying. You think that the team was just like in bed by 9? I don't.
Probably not. Probably not. They're out with CD and George Pickens having some fun. All right, these are my props that I have for you guys. I'll keep it short and sweet too. Tyler Hero in that Miami game, speaking of, over 20.5 points. I got this line last night. It has moved up to 21.5. I still think it's too low. He's had 24, 29, and 24 in his first 3 games back from injury. As we discussed, taking on the Clippers, not a great defensive team right now. And Tyler Hero has absolutely cooked the Clippers when he has played them, 31 and 32 in back-to-back games against this team last season. I think Hero is back, and I'm interested to see how that continues to play out for the Miami Heat. But I really like his points. If you want to go that direction, like I said, I got a better number at 20.5. Sauceman, this one's for you. Going to Steel City. We're going to the Motor City. We're taking a Atlanta Hawk, but we're not taking Jalen Daniels Jalen Johnson. Back in football mind. Jalen Johnson with his incredible performance. We're going with the Aussie, Dyson Daniels. Give me Dyson over 11.5 rebounds and assists. I have no idea why this line is set at 11.5 for almost plus money. This makes 0 sense to me. This guy has been awesome since Trae Young has been out of the lineup. He's hit his RA line in 5 straight games and in 7 of his last 8. and he's had good success against the Pistons. That was even with Trae Young in the lineup in some of those previous games. He's hit this line in 3 of his last 4 versus Detroit. He also had 9 rebounds and 6 assists against Detroit earlier this season. I think Cade's going to have a good game. This should be a fun one tonight. 2 teams in the East that are really playing good basketball right now. Should be a fun game, but I'm going to go with my man. And I think that you might have also circled Dyson today, so sorry if I stole your thunder a little bit there as well. Another chalky prop, Donovan Mitchell, over 29.5 points. This is more of a line read. He kind of had a bad game in their last game out, but this is against the Pacers, one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA, one of the worst teams in the NBA right now as a whole. And he has absolutely cooked this team. He's hit this in 5 of his last 6 games against the Indiana Pacers with 30 pieces in both of them. He's also hit this in 5 of his last 6 games against bottom 10 defenses. Even though it's on the road, I think that Donovan should bounce back, and I like a 30-piece. Would not be surprised if I looked up and he had a 40-piece tonight. And then I'll close it out nice and chalky. I'm not even going to sell it on you. Just give me Luka, over 49.5 PRA. Set it, forget it. Don't overthink it. Braun's back tonight. It's also, if you want a little narrative here, Luka Doncic is taking on Devin Booker tonight. And you know how much he loves playing Devin Booker and the Suns. So give me Luka, PRA, rock and roll. No sell job. Just take the Dawn.
Boys, that was fantastic. So many NBA props. Let me bombard you guys with a couple more.
Let's go.
I'll start it off with what I talked about, but I'm taking the PRA. I'll say because he didn't. This is the Dyson Daniels mom is hot narrative, right? Sook said it. There's no way to explain it. Yeah, Danny, don't look at me funny. We got a lot of funny narratives here, but this is the Dyson Daniels mom is hot narrative. This is Sook's theory. They were drafted within, I think, 2 or 3 picks of each other. I think Detroit also did talk to Dyson Daniels about potentially taking him over Jaden Ivey. Next thing you know, Jaden Ivey's taken, and apparently they were in the draft room at the same time. And Zook thinks that, hey man, Dyson Daniels was pretty hot. What if Ivey said something about it? And I'm like, I don't know. But if you look at the game logs, all of a sudden Dyson wakes up scoring wise. He had 12, 9, and 6 earlier this year. He had a bad shooting night, but before that, 24, 19, 20, and 18 points. Something actually awakens in this guy. And the last time they played the Pistons, Jaden Ivey was still on the sidelines. Ivey is back in the lineup. The Pistons are moving, but I think Dyson Daniels comes in and kind of cooks tonight. 22.5 PRA. Next, Concanapple, over 17.5 points. The Nets defense is terrible. They're absolutely terrible. I don't know what else to say. I think they rank 24th in three-point percentage allowed. They rank 29th in effective field goal percentage allowed and 23rd in points allowed. Concanapple's been absolutely fantastic, and he played this team on opening night. He went 3 of 4 from 3, 4 of 6 from the field, played 25 minutes, and only took 6 shots. That Concanaple versus the Concanaple we're seeing here in early December is completely different. He just played 37 minutes. His points line is now sitting at 17.5, and he is one of the go-to guys on this Hornets team. No Brandon Miller for the Hornets squad tonight. I just think that this is a matchup he can cook. And there's a bunch of rookies on the other side too that he probably knows, and you know how that goes with rookies. And then lastly, finishing it off with a little revenge narrative, Norm Powell over 2.5. It's the former team. The Clippers have been terrible on the perimeter, and I don't think Kawhi Leonard really helps that situation. Norm Powell has been fantastic, and playing against the team that kind of traded you out, and now look at them. Your team was winning basketball games. You're going to make the postseason, and you are the second leading scorer on the team. I think maybe first leading scorer right now, but this has been fantastic. This is exactly what you want on your home floor. The Miami plays at an insane pace. Give me over 2.5 threes. I just couldn't pass it up.
Bing, bong, bang. Love it. Just answer this just from preliminarily looking real quick. Like it, 15.5 was the line, 14, 15 plus, a little juice. Looks comfortable hitting 3 straight games versus the Brooklyn Nets. As Sauceman said, not great defensively. He is also in the starting lineup now. Did they just move Brandon Miller to the bench, or is he? Oh, he's just nursing that shoulder thing again.
Yeah, I think maybe he's coming off the bench playing limited minutes.
No, he's out tonight.
Oh, he's out tonight? Good.
Tonight. Yeah. So yeah.
And about Sexton, I will say he's on the last year of a pretty decent contract, probably more than he's going to see on the next one. He's also playing for a Hornets team that really has nothing going for them. So this is the perfect position to really just stat pad the resume and look towards the next contract.
Bang. It's going to be a nice, fun night tonight of sports, boys. Huge NBA slate, nice Monday Night Football game. We didn't talk any hockey. There is some hockey out there tonight. You guys can go check out all the content we have at bettingnews.com for all of that. Made it to the end. Let's cook the parlay and let's get out of here and let you guys enjoy the rest of your Monday. Chat, drop a dub if you've enjoyed the show. I've had fun. Have you guys had fun?
Oh,
I've
yeah.
had a great time. Always. Blast. Let's cook a parlay that we can make Danny go, yeah, I like that. Let's start in the football. Let's do 2 football, 2 NBA. Let's go 2 and 2. Where you guys want to start in the football?
I was gonna say we start in the NBA because I think we Dyson Daniels.
Yeah, we're kind of
we
in
both
our
kind of agree on
NBA.
that one.
We're in our NBA. Are you good with taking Daniels?
That works.
Danny?
Hey, you guys both like it. Count me in.
Do you like the PRA or RA more? What's gonna make you love this lay, Danny? That's the goal. That's the goal.
Shoot.
Take a second. Take a second.
Yeah, let me
Gander.
dive in here really quick.
Have a
So
gander.
11.5 for his RA.
And then 22.5 for his PRA. I like the RA a little better. I know V likes the scoring aspects of it too, but his RA is just so tasty looking. See, Mona can't decide.
Yeah. What was the PRA at again?
22.5.
I kind of like the PRA.
Okay.
All right.
PRA.
PRA.
All right. So Dyson Daniels, 22.5 PRA. Getting the hot mom narrative. All right. Danny.
This is gonna sound heat, but I'm just looking at Danny's props. Sengun under 9.5 rebounds. I know it's tough, but like that game looks like it could get out of hand a little bit with the Jazz.
I dig it. I like it.
Or did you say something?
No, I like it.
No, I thought Danny said or.
I would do that one or the Kalkbrenner. I didn't, but those would be my two, I'd probably say. So whatever you guys feel confident about works with me.
Let's take the Sengun one. Let's just fade the Jazz. That team is so frisky, yet they are also just so bad too. KD's also back as well. He's probably going to steal some rebounds down there too.
Second half back to back too, because if it gets out of hand, they'll hit the bench a lot faster.
The Google machine been busy. It's funny. All right, let's swing to football. Man, we all like Theo.
He's been close, JoJo. Yeah, I do. I'm down. I was gonna say Theo yards, 29.5. Let's be safe. Not take the touchdown. 29.5.
Trying to take Theo, Danny.
Let's do it.
Okay, Theo Johnson receiving yards. Let me see what let's take. Oh, this is up to 34.5. Let's take 30 plus. Cut the hook.
Yeah.
Minus 160 now. All right. Last leg. Do you guys want to take the Giants in the points? Is that gross?
Are you able to do the dart completions one? Do they let you do that?
I do.
That's my favorite play of the day. But if you guys aren't
can't-
as confident, no issues.
No, I'm down.
Can we do his yards if we can't do the completions? Do you know,
Yeah,
or do you not
parlay
like the yards,
everywhere.
Danny?
I don't mind his yards, like 200 plus.
He's also top 5 in deep ball rate. Like I know it's a smaller sample size, but like the kid likes to go deep.
I would say, yeah, I don't mind that. I'd honestly at this point, especially with what V was saying, I'd probably lean more toward Ramondre than the Travion one. Like that would just be classic for what seems like it would be the obvious play to not hit in the parlay. So I don't hate that.
Ramondre Stevenson's rushing yards.
We would have one leg on each side then.
Okay, man.
I know SPJ doesn't seem that confident in Ramondre.
I got money on him, man.
He
I
doesn't
dig
seem
it.
that confident in his own play. You know what I mean? There might be a problem.
I love it. I love it. I just am surprised that we're going to put Ramondre Stevenson in 2025 in a parlay.
Yeah, either that or the dart passing yards works for me too.
No, let's go Ramondre. That was what you felt good about. I think Shaq can get behind it. 27.
Hunter Henry touchdown. No, I'm just kidding. I know nobody wants that.
That's dirty dog.
It'll be in my parlay.
That's fine. We're also gonna just take both. We're gonna take Ramondre's regular line and we're gonna take Theo Johnson's regular line because they got super juiced and it's like 3 more yards. So, let's see here.
I'm not scared. Not at all.
Nice, Kurt. All right, so Theo Johnson, 34.5 receiving yards. Ramondre Stevenson, 27.5 rushing yards. Dyson Daniels, over 22.5 PRA. Sengun, under chat, 9.5 rebounds.
So you got Ramondre at 26. You had 24.5, didn't you?
I got 25 plus earlier. Yeah, it's up 3 yards.
Damn.
I know. Well, I hope it doesn't matter. Let's find out. This will be fun. Plus 967. You know, it's in there. Plus 967. That's your Betspresso for 2 basketball plays, 2 Monday Night Football plays. Taylor with us, chat. Have some fun tonight. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's your money. Bet responsibly. But we gave you guys a bunch of plays. Lots on the NBA, bunch of straights in the football game tonight. Real quick before we sign off, boys, who wins this game?
Patriots barely.
Yeah, Patriots, but they don't cover the number.
Man, how crazy would it be? I don't think Adam would show up to work on Thursday if the Pats lose tonight.
No. If the Pats lose tonight, I'm showing up to y'all's job on
Oh,
Thursday.
you want to come and hang out with us on any given wager?
just
right now?
for a few minutes, just to come in and strut some shit. You know what I mean?
Man, I think Adam might leave. No, I think the Pats should win tonight. We'll
Going like
out.
24-23 or 23-20, New England.
Oh, that sounds like such an ugly game. But yeah, probably.
Man, you know what? Fuck it. I think the Giants win this game outright.
I was waiting for you to say it. I knew we were gonna get you there.
Oh man.
I don't know. I think they do some funky stuff. We saw how many games this weekend did we see that just did not go the way that we thought they were going to go, except for the Titans game, unfortunately.
Wow.
Every game just went except
The
they all
Rams.
went the opposite direction. Like
Mhm.
even last night. I mean, the Broncos, we all kind of feel like are frauds anyway. Sorry, Alex,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. All right. Great show. Thanks for tuning in right here on the Betting News Network. Hope you guys enjoyed the last hour and a bit of Betspresso. We'll be live with you guys tomorrow. Lots of content across the entire platform and the entire network. Give us a follow on YouTube, on Twitch, or on X wherever you're watching us. Go follow Danny Burke at DannyBurke5 on Twitter. Go follow Vsauce with 3 A's. Go follow myself at SweatPantJesus. Get involved with all of our content here, there, and everywhere. Lads, it's been a pleasure. You guys got anything else you want to spew before we get out of here?
Good luck.
Let's cash this parlay.
You guys came for the winners and you stayed for the vibes. Have a fantastic Monday night, and we will catch you on the next one. Take it easy, chat. Peace.
What you know about rolling down in the down in the Now I know y'all be loving this shit, right?